This is Stephen Orvis, and in this video I'm showing how you could use Wave for a farm to track expenses and do the accounting work. This is currently what we use at our farm. Long term, we would want to switch to Odoo. One of the reasons being that Wave used to have pretty good bank import features for free. You had to pay for some receipt scanning, which was a kind of new feature for them. But now recently they are going to start charging for the transaction import, so for some grandfathered accounts, and by the time I pay for the receipt matching, which Odoo can do as well, I may as well just switch to Odoo. But anyways, this is what I'm using for right now, and I want to show how I've used it, and it's been helpful to me. So first off here, I'm on the bills, under purchases. You can add vendors, which here I have Rural King. I've mainly filtered out these screens to focus in on stuff that should be fairly benign and not dangerous to share. So no customer names and things like that. But you can see here, we have Rural King as a vendor, and we have some bills. Now, theoretically, for the bill pay, you probably don't have to make a bill transaction for each vendor. Like when you go to Rural King, I probably would do that more. So if you have a bill that you have to pay, they haven't paid yet, that you need to track to pay. Example being, we have a local company that has gas, and we get ethanol free from gas from them. And we have to, you go to the pump, you pump the gas, they don't charge you at the time, then they send you an invoice once a month. That would be a good example of a bill where your SOP to, when you get that bill, would be to come in here, add that as bill, and then once a month or whenever you do all the payments. And then after you do your payment, the transaction shows up under accounting. You can click record payment and then reconcile those transactions here. So perhaps I haven't used this exactly the right way, but that is a way to use that. So next up, we have the checkouts. So this is another feature I've used quite a bit that turned out to be useful. Wave has integration with payment gateways, so super easy if you just want to make a checkout for one item. You can have a QR code or you have a URL and people can go to it, use their credit card and pay. We used it, as you can see, for a non-refundable beef deposit. So you can tell someone that, hey, if you want to reserve a beef, just go to the website, click the link, pay the money, and it's yours reserved. So that's been good for us. Just the easy way to do it. Of course, there's fees there, so there's that con, but it's a quick way, an easy way to get a checkout going. It basically just goes to a dedicated page where someone can see what they're buying and just pay the money. All right. So another feature here is invoicing, and so I have an example customer called Nick, and you can see that he shows as paid down here. I recorded a payment manually that he paid in cash. So back to the accounting, kind of Joe Salatin's thing is you've got to be a good accountant if you want your business to run well. And so even though this is cash, we record it. We want to do it the right way and know exactly the profit or loss of each part of the business. And so we recorded this payment here that would then work as a profit. And I want to show next is how invoicing in of itself works. I created a demo user. And so you can give an invoice date, and then you can add an item. So I'm going to add a beef, do a quarter beef, and then you put in a description. It remembers what you used last time, so that's kind of nice. You can throw in a description, whatever that might be. In the past, we've thrown a cut list in here, so it's clear about what they asked for cut-wise and what they're getting. You can add attachments. I've never used that for this, though. So that works pretty good, and then you can hit preview, see what it's going to look like, and so it puts our logo in, makes it look very official and fancy, and you can send that then to a person. You can give a link, or you can download a PDF, send it to them. They can pay digitally through this. Con is, again, you're going to pay those fees, so we definitely try to push our customers to pay by check or cash, so we can avoid those credit card fees. But it is there if you have someone who's just a credit card person. You could, if you want them to pay the fees, you could just add another item here and then do credit card fees and guesstimate what your credit card fee is and charge them a fee for that. That would be a possible solution to that if you hit that issue. Next up is transactions. This is where Wave has been super, super useful, and I'm going to just slide myself over here. Now I have it filtered down to a specific one so I don't show any bank numbers, but the idea with transactions is anything coming into your bank or you manually log shows up here, so you can filter or sort, and you have a few options. You have a mark as reviewed, and then underneath this drop down you can edit it. There's a few more details on it, like you can split a transaction saying that half of it went to this and to that, so maybe you bought some feed and you have chickens and turkeys and you want to track them separately, you can split that expense out and then have that tracking, the analytics on that. You can also upload a receipt, which to me has been super useful. That way, if you ever get audited, you can look, yep, I got a receipt for it. Just come in the transaction, you can click it, and right there, go find it. And I do keep paper copies, so I don't upload all my receipts right now, but that is an option you could do. And Wave does have an advanced feature I haven't used yet. They can do receipt analysis when you upload the receipts. I haven't tried that yet. Again, I'm planning to switch to Odoo. But this has worked pretty well for me. You can set a category up and account. This is also where I track if I have an expense, something that I paid out of pocket. It's technically under contribution/distribution, so I'll go ahead and create one and add it in here, and then it's tracked. Those ones I especially like to get a receipt for because there's not a paper trail, a clean paper trail in my bank account ledger. It's just me saying that, hey, I had this expense, so I definitely try to get a receipt on those ones so it's super clear that it's a legitimate expense. But for the bank ones, they come in automatically, and then you can mark them reviewed if they're looking good. Another neat thing is the category. Wave is pretty smart about that, so if you keep changing the category, it's like, oh, maybe we should always make that category be such and such. So I found that to be useful. But super good, just keeping track of what's going on in your bank accounts, and it can do multiple bank accounts at the same time. So next up, profit and loss. The farm is definitely doing not amazing, which is quite true for a lot of farms. But this is a good high-level picture, what's going on in the farm, how much income you got, where your expenses, what your cogs were, and so this is useful too, just seeing where you're at in the year, comparing year to year, and seeing how you're doing. So those are the main features I've used in Wave. Some other features they have, I see you can hire a tax expert, so you can get like a CPA person, and then I know it can do payroll, which hasn't been useful to me so far. But the base function of the transactions has been really the huge value I've gotten from Wave, and just having the automation coming in, which is why I've been disappointed when they went to the free version, and the free version no longer has the imported transactions automatically, and so that makes Wave not going to be very useful to me at all beyond checkouts and creating invoices, which Odoo can do checkouts and Odoo can create invoices. So once I get switched over to Odoo, I'll probably be over there. But for now, this is a great way to get started. You could use it for real estate too, which I actually do use it for real estate as well. So this is a super simple tool. Odoo is quite complex and takes some getting used to. Wave is not. It's much more simple and pretty plain Jane, but simple and effective.